They're here to make money, and they're doing it in certain ways that take advantage of our data and things we paid for that we're now paying them for.
So, Kara, you've got 2 podcasts, you've started businesses, you've got a lot going on, but now you have a book out. What made you want to write a book?
I wanted to kill some trees. That was my goal.
You got at least a couple here.
Yeah, I took a long time. I'm very late on this book. It actually, as it's turned out, it's good timing because everyone's lost their minds, it feels like, in tech. And there's generative AI is coming. So timing-wise, it's quite good. But I was reluctant because I was still in the game. I'm still in it. But Walt Mossberg, who was my longtime mentor and partner in the various businesses we did, decided not to write his. And when he did, I thought someone has to tell people what these people were like. For some reason, people expect me to do a news book, but I wasn't interested. It was a memoir. This is what I think of them. This is my take. You can disagree with it. You can love Elon or hate Elon, whatever. I don't care. This is my version of what I thought they were like. And I knew them in the before times, before they were rich, before they were powerful, before it worked. And some of them were left along the road. Not everybody made it along the way, but the ones that did, I saw them a long time ago.
So you don't hear the CEO of ExxonMobil talking about how we're going to save the world.
No,
Why is it that the tech industry is always selling us this line about Utopia and the future that they're building and how generous they are?
You know, without getting into their personal therapy sessions, I think they really partially believe it. You know, the first line of this book is, it was capitalism after all. And I wanted to say that because I always thought a lot of that stuff was nonsense. I did a lot of articles at the beginning saying it was nonsense. And at the beginning, it was funny. It was like, oh, I'm chief experience officer, chief officer of fun. And then I would say, and yet they own controlling shares, and so they're also king. So they get to make up stupid titles for themselves. Or I'd make fun of their clothes, that they pretended they were like a regular person when they weren't. None of them were regular people. I just thought a lot of it was nonsense, but they believed it because they couldn't just say, like a banker, I'm here to take all your money, like that kind of thing. They didn't want to do that. They needed to be heroes of their own story. And that has to do with psychology and the idea that they're saviors and that we treat them like magicians when in fact they're just capitalists. That's all they are.
Do you think that's going to happen again, that kind of myopia?
I don't think I think the bloom's off the rose. Everyone gets it, that these are the most powerful companies. If you're a parent, you get it. You realize if you're a worker, you're tethered to these companies. You do see their strength and hugeness. And I think nobody's under the impression that they're here to help us. You know, I make the joke on one of my excerpts, and it wasn't in the book actually, the famous Twilight Zone episode, To Serve Man. Mm-hmm. It's a cookbook. It's a cookbook. It's not that they're here to help us. They're here to make money, and they're doing it in certain ways that take advantage of our data and things we paid for that we're now paying them for. And so I think a lot of people are onto it. Not that some of it's not useful, but it's just like a product, like any other. It's like a car. It's a car. And I think when cars started or when electricity happened, Thomas Edison was quite a bit of a jazz hands fella. Like, he's the wizard of Menlo Park, if you remember, New Jersey. He wasn't a wizard, he was an inventor, and he was quite aggressive in his need to control that new technology, which was electricity.
You've been a tech journalist for decades now, and you've really been a pioneer, not just in focusing on the business, but also the ways that it's being covered, starting new companies. Is there anything that you regret or you wish the industry as a whole had done differently along the way?
I was a beat reporter for a long time. I wish I had gotten to being more of an analysis person, which I did in 2007. We couldn't start our website early because the journal was so slow-footed, and so we started a conference first. And that made a lot of money, so that's why we did it. And I wish we had started the blog news site in 2002, because we were pretty tough once we started going. So I wish we had done that. And we were very early as it was, doing what we were, we're doing a version of lots of people doing now. I wish I had been a little more vocal, I guess, but I was a beat reporter, so I think about it, you really couldn't do it at the time. So maybe that's what I